Hello, hello. I'm so sorry to Nicholas and BNA here. Apparently, my chat widget just lost your first messages. So I'm so sorry about that. It could be because I may have, it just was maybe like right at the start of the stream. So I think some things got lost, but hello, hello. You guys can see that you are here. As you can see, I know, tragic. I have used this again because I set up my gaming look last night, so I thought I would revive this one. Personally, I still think this one looks a little bit more professional than what I was doing earlier. So, yeah, a few things. I wish that there was like a chat widget that, like, I would ideally actually really like a custom chat widget. But I don't, so I'm just using the Streamlabs one. But anyway, I'm so sorry about losing your first messages. But looks like everyone is drinking water. So am I. So official hellos to Nicholas, Just Another Flute Guy, BNA Bound, and Carol. Hello, how are you three doing? And hello, Megan. Hello, hello, hello. So, and Nathan, yes. Oh, the T gang has arrived. All right. Got to keep our pads nice and happy and healthy. Indeed, indeed. I was rinsing out my mouth like crazy right before this because I just ate lunch. I'm a little bit, just a hair, apprehensive, not completely nervous, but a little bit apprehensive about how I'm going to be playing today. I just ate a really small fried chicken sandwich, and for the bread, I toasted it, and I just realized after I finished it that it may have very, very slightly destroyed the roof of my mouth, and my tongue is a little bit like, when you've eaten very, very toasty toast, that it gets that kind of like, oh, yeah, I just like mildly destroyed my mouth a little bit. So we're going to see what it's going to be like to, yeah, worth it, right? So we're going to see what it's going to be like to play the flute like this. I am unsure. just kind of like how that's 100% gonna go. So it is delicious. So I discovered, by the way, that this was a Seattle thing. Apparently, this only happens in the Seattle area, but Safeway has a Monday sale on fried chicken. So they call it cheap chicken Monday. And it apparently is only a Seattle thing. I had no idea until I happened across a Reddit thread that was talking about Seattle secrets. Like they're like, hey, let's stop gatekeeping Seattle. Let's talk about what are the Seattle secrets that people can, discover. And apparently cheap chicken Monday at Safeway is a Seattle thing. So, we actually have fried chicken fairly often, even though it's not entirely good for John's skin. So we tend to skip when John is flaring. So we hadn't had cheap chicken Monday for like probably a month, more than a month, due to his flare. So we got it again this week because he's doing a bit better. But yeah. Yeah, don't ever make you choose between food and flute. Yes, I feel you. So yeah, how can I say that so quickly? Cheap chicken Monday, because I've said it a lot. You get used to it. But yeah, so fun fact of the day, cheap chicken Monday is a thing. So it's clearly not Monday. It's been a couple of days. We can't finish it. It's an 8-piece dark meat kind of like combo for about $6, I believe. It used to be $5. Now it's $6. So it's pretty darn cheap. And we typically cannot finish it all in one go. We have before when we were absolute monsters, but both of our appetites have gotten a little bit smaller as we've gotten older. And so now we get leftovers. So I heat them up just 30 seconds to heat up the inside a little bit, and then I toast it. And if I'm not lazy, I bring out the air fryer. And if you air fry it, that crisp comes right back. It is like arguably even better than when you get it fresh. It is so good. So it's cheap. Yes, cheap like a chick saying cheap. But they say the way that it's written is cheap, CHEAP. CHEAP. So cheap chicken Monday. You get it? You get the pun? Yeah. The air fryer. Oh, guys. So the air fryer. So if you ever want to revive fried chicken that you have in the fridge, you're not really defrosting it because you weren't freezing it, but like you're just warming up the insides just a hair. Just like 20-30 seconds in the microwave. Not a big deal. And then you pop it into the air fryer for, I don't know, it depends on your air fryer, like 5-10 minutes, depending on how crispy you want it to be. And it is so good. We have done egg rolls in there. We've done breaded fish sticks in there. We have done just pretty much anything remotely crispy that you want to revive. You put it in the air fryer, and it's so good. Or pizza. I have not had air fried pizza. But what we like to do is if you're not lazy, you heat it up in the microwave. So this is leftover pizza. You heat it up in the microwave for like 30 seconds, something like that. And then you pan fry it. Pan fried reheated pizza is, it makes the bottom of the pizza super crispy. It's so good. So a close second to that though is to use a toaster oven, and you put it on toast. So because you don't have to babysit it or anything, we tend to just do that. So we like heat it up in the microwave for like 20 to 30 seconds just to kind of like start the cheese melting a bit. And then you pop it in the toaster oven, in those like tiny sheet pans. So you pop it in the toaster oven, I don't know, like 10 minutes or so, 7 to 10 minutes, depending on how hot you like it, how crispy you like it. And it is so good. It is really good. You're lazy though. Okay, legit, we will eat pizza cold. We are those gremlins. We will absolutely eat pizza cold because it is also delicious that way. I know some people don't like the texture of it, and that's totally fair, very valid, but we are the gremlins who will absolutely eat cold pizza. But yeah, reviving pizza is so good. We've got all the appliances. So to be fair, I know that you guys are thinking air fryer, ooh, wow, big appliance, and like toaster oven, ooh, wow, big appliance. No, we have the absolute smallest air fryer. I'm not joking, only this big. And it's like egg shaped. That's all it is. And our toaster oven is super tiny too. Our toaster oven is literally this big. That's it. Okay. And keep in mind, I am a small person. All right. So if you're making this size in front of you and you are not short, it's smaller than you think. So yeah, it's a baby air fryer. So it was a gift from our real estate agent who helped us buy this home. And so they just left an air fryer as a gift to us. We didn't want it at the time, so we actually gifted it to our parents. Our parents fell in love with the air fryer, just the thought of it ever since they started using it. But they decided that this air fryer didn't have enough options on it. So they gave it back to us. And then we're like, it's opened, so we might as well use it. And then we like fell in love with it. And we've just been lazy to like get a bigger air fryer. We've just been lazy because this has just worked. It's only the two of us in here, so like you don't really air fry that much, So, but yeah, my parents got a bigger air fryer. Yeah, $20,000 air fryer. No, I don't think so. Although I guess you could call it a $20,000 air fryer if you're thinking like real estate prices, right? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah. Yes, Nicholas. Like me giving these dimensions very vaguely on camera, it's smaller than you think. It's really small. Hello, Sean. How are you? Welcome back. I hope life is great. Oh, you guys. Megan, are you part of the left? You are the leftover queen. Yes, we are too. We meal prep. We do the leftover life. Okay. In fact, we tend to make things that actually taste better as leftovers. So, like stews, chili, soups, like any sort of like marinated or like baked things. Cause like the flavor gets way more intense the next day. So we are so hard in the leftover gang that we actually make food that straight up tastes better as leftovers. Yeah, beans, stews, yeah. They just all taste so much better the next day. Like curries taste, out of this world the next day. Especially if like when you haven't been like smelling it the whole time, So Sean, you've had some adventures lately, but all good now. Now, when you say all good now, does that mean that your adventures have been not of the good sort? Or like, you okay? Hope you've been good. Are we making you hungry? Well, I mean, I didn't exactly have a lot of time to savor this fried chicken sandwich that I had. I had it with some bread and butter pickles too, and it is so good. That like, the pickles just kind of like cut right through the like fried kind of oiliness of it, and it's really good. So, yes. Anyway, I don't want to get too carried away with talking about food, because I could talk about food forever. All right. So let's end the poll and get started practicing. Now, if anyone is watching this after the fact, please let me know in the comments below what you're sipping on. Would love to know. Or what you're eating, what you're snacking on. Okay. So, but we're going to get started with our practicing. We were doing a full hour because after last week, I am feeling like my energy levels are high enough to do a 1 hour practice session now. So I am very, very happy about that. Now you want some Chick-fil-A. I will say the Chick-fil-A waffle fries, legit really good. Like, out of everything that I had in the one meal that I've ever had at Chick-fil-A is the waffle fries that really impressed me. Yeah. Okay. So what are the results of our poll? So we had more than half of us drinking water. Okay. Very good. About a quarter of us having coffee, 15% having soda and pop, and then 7%, whatever that means, 2 people, something like that, having tea. Sounds great. Excellent. So, Sean, highs and lows. Ooh, I share in that experience. Yes. Good vacation. Surprise funerals. Normal adult stuff. Yeah. Yes, and you are absolutely correct that the NFA was absolutely life-changing. It was life-changing. So I'm so sorry to hear about the surprise funeral. That must have been an absolute, just no time to think. If I know anything about planning funerals and surprise funerals and stuff like that, one is that you're dealing with that grief and that loss, but you have to put the grief and the loss on hold while you are dealing with the actual preparation for the funeral, and that really sucks. So I hope you have some time to just rest, and process and feel the feelings. We're here for you. Unfortunately, speaking of surprise funerals, we are going to a surprise funeral, next week. So I will not be streaming much next week. I think the most that I can stream is 2 days, which, I guess 2 out of 3 is not bad. Yeah, so I'll only be streaming as of now. I'm not sure if there are more surprise things that will pop up, but as of now, I will only be streaming on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I think that it is okay to tell you guys just generically who it is. I won't be specific, but it is a family member on John's side of the family, not immediate nuclear family level. But just to maintain the privacy of his side of the family, I don't want to say exactly who it is. We were close enough with this family member that we served them tea at our the Chinese tea ceremony for our wedding. And for those of you guys who are, unfamiliar with how a Chinese tea ceremony works, the Chinese tea ceremony itself is the Chinese wedding. That is the wedding ceremony. So you are serving tea to your elders and to the people who are that you respect, that have taken care of you, or have looked after you, or have been a figure in your life, or something like that. And so we did serve tea to this family member when we got married. So it was a no questions asked. As soon as we found out that there was a memorial going on next week, he's actually been passed away for a little bit of time now. And so, but we didn't find out about the memorial until very recently. So I just was not really in the mood to talk about it. But, Sean, thank you for bringing it up. It's life. It's real. And it sucks, but it is. So, yeah. I think because so much time has passed, the sense of shock has already worn off. But there's there's probably going to be another kind of wave of processing coming next week and a bit after that. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of let you guys know why next week is going to be kind of weird, or at least I'm going to miss one day of streaming next week. So, yeah. So I hear you, Sean. I hear you. Yeah, for me, it was also high highs and low lows. The NFA was a high, and then came right back to John's worst flare in a whole year. So we recognize that this is likely his annual flare. The annual flare, like essentially it's the TSW anniversary flare, is usually the worst in the whole year, every year. So yeah, his comes back pretty much in August, because that was when he finally went off of steroids cold 3 years ago. So yeah, annually there is a huge flare and that is happening. So he's kind of coming out of it. And yes, we are persevering, and I am dooting right through it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that like legitimately the dooting through it like legitimately helps because I think these streams allow me to keep a sense of self-identity. And it allows me to have a space that's just for me. And that's really important. It's really important to find a space that's just for you. And you can be completely yourself. Your identity is as nothing else except yourself. And yeah, super important. I know that the first 6 months, 3 years ago, dealing with this, I pretty much only survived because I kept streaming. So yeah. Hey, no worries on missing NFA. There are plans to do more NFAs, so I think it'll work out. I'll meet you guys. No worries. Yeah, jasmine tea early, but water now. There you go, joining the water crew. Yeah, surprise funeral sucks. And in fact, funerals are always surprises. If you think about it, they're always surprises. Like, even if the person is, deteriorating. I'm sorry, I can't find another word to sugarcoat it. But even if the person is slowly deteriorating, it's always a bit of surprise exactly when they go. And you cannot do pretty much any of the funeral planning until they actually go. So it's always a surprise, Yeah. Lillian Burkhart has been awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award. I believe I recall someone telling me about that. I think someone told me about that. So congratulations to Lillian Burkhart. Also, she just makes really good flutes. So that's great. That's great. Okay. I have definitely talked way too much. So we're going to start practicing. I need to get my timer out. Which always looks kind of janky. Always looks kind of janky. Okay. Here, so this is going to be a 60-minute timer. Okay. Okay. And then we need to make sure that this is getting the correct thing. Okay, so we got the timer ready. We got to get the rest of our music going, though. So, music. Exactly. Lillian Burkhart, the trailblazer. The word trailblazer now means something entirely different to me because I play Honkai Star Rail. If you know, you know. It's the name of the main character, or the title of the main character. Because in Genshin you're called the Traveler, and then in Honkai Star Rail you're called the Trailblazer. So, yeah. Way to just show off exactly how much of a geek I am. All right, so we're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and Rapid as Wildfires, Sweet. Okay, so we got that going. Later, Sean, thank you so much for dropping by. I really appreciated you dropping by to say hi. It's really good to hear from you. Okay. Bill, hello. No, you are at the beginning of this. You are good. You are good. Okay. I guess it's just time to get the show on the road. All right, here we go. Okay, microphones are on. Okay. So I'll get that going. Okay, there's our timer. Okay. Let's do this. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm very much in like slight hobo home clothes today because I really just did not feel like dressing up. Do you guys ever have those days where you're just like, I just don't feel like looking presentable today? So this is my like, feels like pajamas, but is relatively presentable on camera look. Yeah. Oh, rubber ring. Yes, thank you, 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 thank you. Saving my flute, one practice session at a time. Thank you, thank you. Normality is very important. You every day? Yeah, yeah. You know, sometimes you just don't feel it, man. Okay. Did I actually line this up correctly? I don't think so. Okay. We gotta not use the thumb holes though. Yeah, I definitely ruined the top of my mouth with that sandwich. 100%. Okay, we'll try again. Yeah, that's the best it's gonna come out. I think it's swollen. Yeah, top of my mouth definitely swollen from me absolutely destroying it with toasted bread. Like I can feel that it's more swollen. And that's precisely where the high C wants to resonate. So I right now, in order to get that high C out, I absolutely have to like think about lifting my soft palate, but also like playing like that. So, but thanks guys. So I think somehow due to just how I've ruined my mouth with the toast earlier, my low notes apparently have not been affected. So we're good there. So Alden, that is fantastic. See, you just have to talk to the flute center and they got you. They got you. I'm so glad they're going to just give you a new one. That's fantastic. Good, good. Yeah, anytime I've had any issues, I just like, even though I get nervous about like telling them about it, every time they're just like, no problem, we're just going to fix it or we're just going to replace it. Like they just, guys, their customer service is so good. Like what you have to realize is that with instruments like this, especially because they go out when they're shipped out, there are a lot of things that are actually completely outside of the control of the flute center. It's just that they know, at least that's my thinking in terms of marketing, is that they would make way more money shipping out flutes constantly to people, like being willing to ship flutes out constantly to people. But you'll have things happen to some flutes, and there are going to be some things that happen, but in terms of the sales that they would get, that far outweighs the issues that they would have to kind of deal with, as well. So it's kind of a give and a take, so like I think business wise it's real smart. So is it because of the promo code? I don't know if the promo code covers that. I honestly think that that's just a flute center thing. Like that's just a customer service thing. I do not think because at least I like looking at the promo code, like what my promo code covers is what I've told you guys it covers. So also I saw earlier BNA Bound was saying that this thing looks like a graduation robe. You're right, it does, doesn't it? Also you mentioned that this is something that only US people wear. What do you guys wear for your graduation or your commencement services and stuff like that in Europe? I'm curious what you guys wear. So us North Americans, we're always very curious. So Australia is the same. So in Australia, this is your graduation robes. Is that right? Is it also a thing there, but I'm not sure. Like I feel like there's like little things that just are like kind of different, but that you don't really think about until you like talk with other people. Anyway, let's do Della Sonorite. So what we're going to keep in mind is that middle register and low register are probably fine. It's my high register that I think I might have to just open up my mouth a little bit more. Oops. There we go. So we will do exercise 3 on Moiste Della Sonorite, page 23. These are essentially dynamic control exercises, and we have added a reverse taper with the recommendation of Just Another Flute Guy here in the chat, which by the way I've been really enjoying, so thank you. Okay. Oh, I totally forgot about those high school graduation rings. You're right. That's an American thing for sure. I don't think there was any of that kind of thing in Canada, because I graduated high school in Canada. I remember my brother getting a huge class ring. It was really gaudy. Anyway. Tongue, welcome to the stream. I do not use a thumb port anymore. I just straight up have not used it for years now. For me, initially it was because I switched over to the Woodify Twig, and then I took my flute in for a COA a couple years ago, And then I got lazy and I did not put my Woodify wave or twig onto my flute anymore because I was just lazy. And then I realized that I could play without them. And I think that it is in large part due to the fact that you didn't even realize. It was in large part to do with the fact that I had changed my grip of the flute to the rockstro grip. So if you want to learn more about the rockstro grip, Terry McGee has made a wonderful article about it. That's how comfortable I sound and look. Exactly. And I attribute that to the rockstro grip. So I'm just going to leave that link for anyone who's interested. You guys actually sent me this link a few years back. So this changed my life in terms of like how comfortable I am holding the flute now. I no longer needed the aids to help me balance the flute. So yes, rockstro grip was a life changer. So it was incredible, like how differently I felt playing. So anyway, we keep going. I just want to see how loud I could get there. BNA, did you mean to call it your biggest bugbear? Because if you didn't, please tell me you play D&D and that you typed bugbear enough that it autocorrected whatever you said to bugbear. All right, we keep going. Yeah, bugbear is a it is a monster / creature in D&D. So John played a bugbear and modeled his character after Cookie Monster. So he played a blue bugbear and he just spoke like Cookie Monster the entire time we were playing. And it was wonderfully accurate. Yeah, I only know the word bugbear from D&D. I think there are bugbears in Baldur's Gate 3. Because Baldur's Gate 3 is based on D&D. Or at least the system is based on D&D. So, yeah. Wonderful. Tongue. Yeah, well, let us know after you experiment a little bit with the rockstro grip. Let us know. Okay. Again, I'm just testing my boundaries, see how loud I can get. Oh, they don't believe you that you can hold the flute without touching any of the keys? You're actually supposed to, right? You're supposed to be able to do that. Because if you can't do that, then that means that you have some balance issues. Because you ideally want to be able to like play any combination and like random, yeah, any combination of fingerings, yeah. So any order and combination of fingering is possible. You should be able to do it without the flute essentially moving at all. Yeah. It's the triple point. Exactly. It's the, so it's chin, side of the left, side of the left hand, and then your right thumb. So you should be able to. Should be able to. Which was why I really needed the thumb port for a while, because I hadn't figured out the rockstraw grip yet, which made it so that I wasn't able to actually get under the flute as much on the right hand, because my fingers had to be able to like reach up and over to reach the keys, which meant that the flute was sitting either on the bone here, like on the knuckle bone, which is extremely painful. So you have to have some sort of like grip or something there. Or you have to just do it like what I did, which was just keep my fingers flat, which my teachers always yelled at me for. And then on this side, I didn't have because essentially so weirdly, it's because the keys were actually too close to me. So then I felt like my thumb had to come further back and out. And if you do that, you're essentially completely out and behind the flute. So you're only pushing against this way. So you're not really lifting the flute at all. So I found that to increase a ton of tension, because instead of allowing gravity to hold your flute in your hand, you're essentially forced to use this hand and this thumb to just press against it like this, which is an insane amount of like tension and stress on your hands and on your arms and then on your shoulders, etc. Right? So like, it's pretty big to like the fact that I finally figured out the rockstraw grip, or heard about the rockstraw grip. So it allows the flute to lay on the hand it's still at a slight angle, but it's still, you're actually getting gravity to actually just hold it in your hand for you, in your left hand and also on my right hand. So my thumb isn't completely under the flute like this, but it's just enough under the flute, kind of at an angle, that gravity is actually like helping me, like just kind of like sitting it in my hand. So yeah. Hi, Chris. How are you? I do move as well as duting. Yes. Fluterizing is a new one. Yes. So Henry, hello and welcome back to the stream. You remember reading an article and one professor recommended pushing so hard with the side of the left hand. Yeah, that increased way too much tension for me. Like the fact that you have to push like that means like if you just push like this, you can already feel your biceps are flexed. I think even where's the other, like here on my shoulder, you can even feel that that's flexed. If all of that is flexed in your arm, that tension bleeds all the way into your fingers. You're not going to be able to go fast. Like, no way. Yeah. Bill, Jim Henson wanted to hire you to be a Muppet. Really? Oh, that's incredible. Yeah. You lose a bunch of resonance in your lower teeth. Yeah, if you smash it in there, right? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Holy. So they said in the article, I give $100 to anyone who can push the flute away from my chin. And you're like, that can't be healthy. What a response. Oh, I love your response. It's just like, oh, honey. Oh. So with the grip, do I keep the weight center on top so that it won't roll? If so, you suppose the keys would be more forward and the rod's on top. Yeah. That's essentially it. So not that you guys can tell because the camera is actually pointed downward at me slightly. So it's slightly altering your perception of my keys. Because if I didn't tell you that I was playing with the rockstraw grip, you guys would have no idea. like I've had several people be very surprised to realize that I was using the rock stroke grip. So if I was doing a like kind of like the true with the keys like parallel to the floor, it would actually look, yeah, more like this. So I'm just going to bend down like this, and you can see that my fingers don't actually reach the keys. You see that? So I used to always have to play like this, right? Like that. I always played like that. So now with the keys very slightly, they're just very slightly facing outward, because I don't need like a crazy amount of rock stroke grip. Like I don't need it to be like this. So I just need a bit, and it's just enough to get my fingers onto the keys. So the angle at which you need to bring it out depends on the person. So, excuse me, I just had lunch. So it depends on the length of your fingers. It depends on the size of your hand. So you can do a little bit of experimentation and just see how far out you can roll or turn the body joint out so that it matches your fingers the best. Yeah. Yes, it looks very awkward, right? Playing like this. I used to play like that all the time. Like even this finger would get flat, as you can see. It's very easy to do that. I used to play like that all the time. Yeah. So, hey Michael, enjoy your summer celebration. Oh, wonderful. Shameless promos for students are welcome. Yes, I agree, BNA. I love this, like, shameless, like, my professor is awesome. I love that. I think it's wonderful. I think that, we should celebrate our professors like that. Like, that's how I am with Linda Lucas. I'm sure you guys have, this is a broken record now, okay? Like, you guys know that I freaking love Linda Lucas. So, so good. Okay. Here we go. Small Asian hands, indeed. Although it's really just short person small hands. That's really what my situation is. It's so stupid. Anyway, I realize I'm not done this, so we're gonna keep going. You guys keep talking though. That was a very fun detour. Thank you for detouring me. That was really fun. Michael, thank you so much for acknowledging that. I will ask you to stop talking about it from now on. Just because what you're saying has nothing to do with what people are talking about right here, and it is very disruptive. However, I acknowledge it, and I thank you for thinking about it. I did want to make it very clear to everyone that while I am very, very excited to meet you all, for my safety and for your safety, I am only meeting people in real life at actual flute conventions and flute festivals, or if I happen to go to your school or something like that for a talk or something like that. Like, there has to be some sort of event happening. For my safety and for your safety, that is the only place that I will meet you guys in real life. So I just wanted to make that super clear. It's a safety matter. So, yeah. Okay. I love seeing that you guys are realizing that you guys are closer than you thought. That is so cool. You guys should meet up. See, you guys can meet up, okay? You guys can meet up. Like, just make sure that y'all are who you say you are. I can verify that I have met Henry, okay? And Nicholas is exactly who he says he is. He is also the maker of this. Again, shameless promo. Okay. So I can verify that the two of you are real. Okay. that part I can verify, but that's actually very rare for someone like me to be able to verify that. But just make sure you guys are staying safe and stuff. If you guys want to like just kind of hang out online and stuff, please join our Discord. I will put this in here. So I'll put here Discord. There we go. Are you the only bot here, BNA? Well, it's very good AI. Okay, there we go. So there we go. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Better than it was yesterday and also last week. More control in the super soft notes. I would like even more, but we're just gonna keep chugging along. I think I can also push it being louder too, because what I'm really realizing is I need to make my mouth even more a bigger chasm inside of my mouth, and so it has more room to like reverberate. So I am able to push that more. I would ideally like to be able to push that chasm bigger for low notes. So there might be a little bit of an experimentation going on there. I think just from me talking out loud, I wonder if the chasm has to be in a slightly different spot. If maybe the chasm itself has to be more forward than what I'm currently doing. So we'll save that for tomorrow to try out. But yeah, I definitely am noticing that the softer the note is, the more forward it needs to resonate. And also when it's crazy, crazy soft, vibrato is no can do because the vibrato essentially destroys the sound entirely when you are like, you know, just making the note right above, not actually playing the note. At that point, it's soft enough that vibrato would just destroy it entirely. So I have learned that part. I think I can do it even a little bit better, but that's what practice is for. So cool. Okay. We will head down to circular breathing. Okay. So let me put this in the notes that next time we're going to do exercise 4. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Also, yeah, like Henry, I saw earlier you were talking about how Linda was like when like 2 weeks later I showed her my embouchure change. I will never forget that moment. I'll never forget it. It was incredible. It was just like, if you ever get that response from your teacher, you know you did good. You know? Okay, we're doing circular breathing now for those of you guys who are just listening and wondering why I stopped talking. Okay, so the thing with Powell head joints, I'm just going to butt into your conversation here. The thing with Powell head joints, I personally find, is that most people do find that I am, for the most part, correct. That you have to imagine that you're holding an egg in the mouth and that the egg is like rotating, depending on the note that you're playing. And I think for some people, that feeling of like rotating the egg in the mouth is awkward. That's what I think. Is that I think in some people's mouths, it just doesn't really work. Whereas for other people, that's natural. So it sounds like for you, Nicholas, that it's not natural for you. I think. I think. So, okay. Let's do some circular breathing on the flute. Excuse me, guys. That was so gross. But like circular breathing really does get rid of phlegm in the back of your nose very easily. They're okay today. There's a lot of phlegm going on. Like I feel like every time I'm like trying to do a nice like small inhale, I'm like, it's like forcing me to snort phlegm. Oh, that's so gross to talk about, but that is the truth. And I'm not about to, pretend that that's not happening. Okay. All right. We're very slowly making our way through number 368 in the 480 exercises by our boy Moise. Would he appreciate me calling him that? It's okay. He's not here, right? So we're going to start from, as it says, G dominant 7. Oh, man. What do you mean you used to be a serial head joint collector? Are you still not? Are you not anymore? Okay. Oh, excuse me. Woo! All right. Here we go. Yes, Nathan. We share flutes. So, if you're wondering, Nathan, so at a convention or if you're trying flutes or something like that, they leave out little sanitizer wipes. So if you are trying different head joints that use like everything is metal, like the lip plate is metal. So you actually take a sanitizing wipe and you wipe down the lip plate, and you can wipe into the riser and stuff like that too, just to make sure everything is nice and clean before you start trying it. But yeah, people buy, used flutes and stuff like that all the time, man. It's, yeah. Yep. Yeah, there are other cleaners, so there are non-alcoholic cleaners for the wooden ones. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, I thought we just throw them in the sink and wash them. I did actually get to try, I can't say who yet, but I did get to try a head joint that does not have the cork. So, I'm just saying, nothing would happen to it. Okay. These two fingers need to go up at the same height. That's more what it is. Also, for anyone who is watching this, who is not a flutist and is starting to wonder if you really do put a head joint under the sink to wash it, I'm just going to say no. Okay. Head joints use a piece of cork in the top part of it, and it's glued to a stopper, to a metal stopper. And the metal stopper, depending on where you put it, affects the tuning of the flute. Okay, so if you stick this head joint under a faucet, you'll get the cork wet. Okay, the cork will do what cork does when it gets all wet, and then it stays in there, and there's like no air to dry it anyway. So it gets moldy and disgusting. And also, it will get brittle once it does dry, and then it will crack, and it's not a great time. It completely destabilizes your tone, your intonation. It's not a great time. So, we are just joking here. These are jokes that are happening right now. Okay, so for anyone who is watching who is unaware, though, that is why you do not put your head joint under the faucet. Do not clean your flute anywhere near water, okay? You only wipe it dry. That's all we do. Not dishwasher safe. Yeah, exactly. Ruin a flute any percent speed run. Yes. Pretty much. I told this story a long time ago, but I haven't told it in a very long time. My very first student. So me as 17-year-old Joanna. Okay, this was a long time ago. 17-year-old Joanna did not realize that she needed to have this talk with her, not only her student, but her student's parent, about how to actually care for a flute. And so she comes in through the door one day and she goes, my baby sister took my flute and threw it in the sandbox. And I'm like, and she's like, oh, but it's okay. You don't worry. My mom took it and then washed it in the kitchen sink. And I'm just like, so, okay. In terms of how it actually went down, I tried to be very, very polite and very, gentle but firm about it. And I told them, this is not how you care for a flute. You have probably damaged the head joint cork and the various pads, and who knows what else is happening there. So I said, you got to take it to a shop for them to replace the pads and replace the cork and just readjust the entire thing. I don't know which bootleg shop they went to, but they got it done for $50. I mean, it worked. So what was I going to say? Right? Yeah. Yeah, I told this story a few years ago, so it's been a while. But I know that I have a few new people watching me right now, so I just want to make it very clear that we're joking right now. This is an inside joke, okay? The cleaning it in the kitchen sink, okay, is an inside joke. So we'll loop all of you in, okay? All you people who are watching who have not caught that story before, you guys are in on the in joke now, okay? Yes, you can wash. You can give a bath to like a trumpet. So like I used to watch my brother give baths to his trumpet, you know, but you can't do that to a flute. Anyway, okay. Excuse me. Okay. My brain. Hello, Susie. How are you? We've been having a very lively discussion about all sorts of things, like how to reheat pizza and fried chicken, and um, how why we don't wash flute head joints in the kitchen sink, and yeah, it's been. We've had some really great discussions so far. Um, so if you have anything to add um, about anything, or just tell us what you're sipping on, we'd love to know. Okay, we're gonna do one more, like one slightly higher, just for fun. I am just kind of experimenting to see if I can get away with playing like, you know, D7 with as little air as possible. So I need to be able to find where it resonates in the mouth. So we'll see. Okay, that's enough of that. To take a break from that, I will, yes, corroborate Nicholas's answer. That yes, you are absolutely correct. C1 is the lowest C that you can play on an 88 key keyboard. So your standard piano. C1 is the lowest C. So the reason why they call middle C is because that is the C in the middle of the 88 key keyboard. And that happens to be the fourth C from the lowest C. So the lowest C is C1, 2, 3, 4. C4 is middle C. So we play, our lowest C is C4. So in reality, okay, so I started on the piano. So my brain actually still thinks of a lot of things in piano terms. And this is one of them. So, however, there are people who only play the flute who refer to middle C as C1 because that is the lowest C that you can play on the flute. So depending on the person that you're talking to, sometimes C1 is middle C, and then sometimes C4 is middle C. So if you're talking to me, C4 is middle C. Yeah. It's okay. No worries. Like, weirdly, this is like, I personally only like noticed that I had to start using the actually numbered system to differentiate between like the different octaves when I started teaching online, and also when I started making these this content online, because you need a really like concise way of just telling people this is this note, right? Now, the nice thing is that if I say something like C7, right? Clearly we cannot go up 7 octaves on the flute. Okay, so it's like by implication, you can tell that I am talking about C4 as middle C, right? If I say something like C4, C5, C6, C7, right? If I only use the numbers for, generally speaking, 4 to 7, then you'll know that I'm referring to C4 as middle C. I personally find it easier to still refer to it as C4, because the B below it is in these terms referred to as B3, because it's in the part of the octave below C4. So it's actually considered B3. You change numbers at every C, not at every A, every C. Yeah. Yeah, you're so welcome. I really enjoy explaining this type of thing. There are a lot of implications, contextual things that can tell you if a person is talking in flute octaves or in piano octaves. I tend to use piano octaves because it's easier to refer to like even lower notes. You know, like in some cases, I might be looking at music that's written for the piano, right? And if I have to talk to my student about it, it's much easier to just use a standard, like the 88 key standard, essentially. So, yeah. Okay, not bad. I can tell that the B and the D, so B6 and D7, are kind of sitting in 2 different spots in my mouth. So we're going to work on that more tomorrow. We're going to have to do it again. So next time we will be doing the major 7. So I'll change that to the major 7. All right. Very good. So we're going to do, we don't have a lot of time. So let's do like 1 or 2 of the turnarounds. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit. Let's see. So we want to do, okay. There we go. I think you guys can, oh, why is this so, it's like lost focus suddenly. There we go. Okay. Contextual clues. Okay. Oh God. doing it without the metronome for a hot second. So two things. One is I have to resonate the high D flat in a very specific spot. The other is that I need to lift my index and middle finger when I come back down to the A flat because I want to just leave them there. Okay, one more time. Now with the metronome. Okay. All in one breath too. Yes, 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 yes. Ooh, I see we're talking about tuning, oh, you can extended bass rate. That's so cool. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, this one's a finger twister. It's more so a resonant spot twister though, personally, I find, because that placement of the D flat 7 is like in a very specific spot and I have to hit it every time and anticipate it. Okay, we're good. So I said we were gonna do 2 and we did 2. So we're gonna start with 42 plus next time. We're going real slow through this, but like I was saying yesterday, way better to get it good on slow than it is to rush through it. So, okay. Now, in terms of where I need to work on stuff in the third movement of the Ibert, we don't have a lot of time, but we can certainly try. I know for a fact where I am mixing up spots. So I'm going to just choose those spots that I'm mixing up and just kind of go over them and just sort of like cement it in my mind. So here we go. So there's only one minor blip in that. So I'm going to go over that again. Goes to in the middle of that one that last bit there starts on the C. The next time that it comes around it flips up to the E flat, so I'm going to try that. technically I got it down, but it could be cleaner. Okay, I think that's as good as I can get that part, but at least I know what it is. See you around. Good night, BNA. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. Yes, we got that straight. All right, cool. So, I want to skip the middle part for now. We'll straighten that out next time, but I need to get the recap correct now. Okay, yeah. I think I got it. It still could be cleaner because my brain is still like kind of hiccuping right before the change, halfway through that. So I need to anticipate the exact note I'm getting to. Okay. At least we've ironed out what that part is. We skip to the next part where it changes again. No. My brain! Okay. Now, I am curious. At what point do I just say F it and just play a super high C for a really long time there? Because I feel like it dropping down to the lower to like C6 is like such a letdown. Charles, welcome to the stream. This is hard. That's why I'm practicing it. Okay. I mean, considering that I know where to resonate it now, it doesn't actually take that much air. Well, I don't know. What? It feels like such a letdown to like go down to the lower C. But was what I did just now like too much? Is that too much? I don't know. Anyway. Like, wouldn't that be so cool in performance? You know? Like, I think that would be so cool in performance. I don't know. I don't know how too much it sounds. Right? I think it would be so cool. I don't know. Okay, we're just gonna do a tiny bit of the Genshin Impact Rapid as Wildfires theme. Just a bit. There's definitely a bit that I need to kind of like review because I always get it mixed up. So, all right. And again, this is near the end. Is it never too much? Is that's where the orchestra has the melody? Okay. Then can I just be loud for just the sheer reason of being obnoxious? Can I? All right, anyway, let's do a little bit of Genshin before we close off for today. No. I really think the dynamic control exercises are really helping this. Like, I'm able to save air so that I can push it elsewhere. Thank you. Still some spots that I still need to iron out a little bit. I'm just gonna go back on those a tiny bit. talked to myself out loud in a performance? I don't recall. I definitely remember having very loud thoughts. Let's see. So you basically don't crescendo until way later and then make a drastic crescendo right before the end. I do that subconsciously, and I do that, and I think I'm cheating. It's nice to know that this was legitimately taught to you. Okay. All right, we've gone over time. Partially because I was talking a lot today, which I don't mind, by the way, guys. I really enjoy this. This is my favorite kind of practice stream, is when I get to just like yap with you guys. So, okay, excellent. Endorsed by Prof. I love it. I've been doing it and just feeling like I'm cheating. So thank you. Shall we? Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is, let me put that up here. Prepare that for next time. And then I'm going to guess, because I keep forgetting to do this. So let's do this so you guys can watch me put away my flute. I've just forgotten to do it for the last bit. So let's do it now. So you had to do it for the Nielsen. I wish that I was told that I could do that. Yes, that would have made it so much easier. Did I plug my ring key? I did. You can see it. I did. It's partially because you told me that Prof does it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm done. Okay? If even other, like, you know, professionals are just plugging the key because F it, I'm like, why am I struggling? Why am I making myself struggle? There's no reason. So, yeah, so I did. It is, it has been plugged and I am not looking back. Okay. I'm still very much enjoying your swab here. I cannot go back to any other swab now. This is all your fault. How dare you? Is it not a game changer, Kelza? Just Another Flute Guy here in the chat is the creator of this swab that you ordered from him. It's incredible. Like it's like it's dry. It's completely and utterly dry. It's so good. So yeah, and then I actually do this as well. I just stick my pinky in there. My pinky is small enough to do this. So I like to wipe the riser, but there you go. And I have been using your polishing cloth and I love it. And you're absolutely right. By the way, just so you guys know, the first time you put this in to wash, make sure you put it in a separate laundry bag because the edges will shed a little bit, but it only does on the first time. I've washed this, I think 3 times now. 3 or 4 times? I don't know. I wash it every weekend. And yeah, it hasn't shed it anymore. So it's just the first time. Just Another Flute Guy, Nicholas here, is absolutely aware of it. So just so you guys know, the first time you wash it, put it in its separate laundry bag. Yeah. So yes. Yeah, so I'm sorry, you guys, you can't order this right now. But I've been really enjoying it. So a really funny perk. So I'm going to see if it works this time. I'm going to see if it works. But one funny perk is that I've noticed that I can get the metal so clean that it squeaks when I put it back in the case. So I want to see if you guys can hear it. Kind of. Did you guys hear that? It squeaks a little bit more on the other one. So let me wipe this one down. Yeah, it squeaks, like it's so clean it squeaks when being put away in a Weissman case. Dryness has never been more dry. There you go. You heard it from Kelza, Nicholas. You heard it from Kelza. Cranky, you're gonna put on your Christmas wish list? Yes. Worth. Please do. It's yeah, I haven't gone back to any other swab. I don't use any other swab anymore. Also, I have not used any other polishing cloth after getting this one. Okay. So, see, I love how big it is. Like, look how absolutely freaking gigantic this thing is. Because you can hold it on one side with one end. So you can hold it on one side with one end, and the rest of it, because I'm holding it on a corner here, and the rest of it can go all the way up to the top. It's really nice because that way you don't actually have to like keep dirtying the flute with your fingers, and you don't have to use a second polishing cloth. It's the same polishing cloth. So it's really nice to put it away without actually touching it, because it doesn't matter how clean my hands are. I leave my fingerprints on everything. I am so oily. I'm just a fountain, and an absolute fountain. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear this. You hear that? There were other days that it did actually make a higher pitched squeak sound. But of course it's a little camera shy right now. But it's very, yeah, it's super, like, I remember the first time I put it in and I was like I had never heard that sound before. It's never made that sound before. So yeah, it is, I really love this thing. And I love being able to put it in and having a lot of cloth to put it in without making it, fingerprinty. So it's nice. Like, clearly you cannot get into all of the crevasses here. Okay. Like that is something that just will not be cleaned fully until you take it in for a COA. So, but what you guys are looking at right now is, because it's end of August right now, and I usually get my COA done in October. So you're looking at sort of like a 10-month past COA, and you can see that I'm still able to keep it quite shiny and like not a lot of like tarnish and stuff going on. You just have to make sure to put away your flute regularly. Don't get lazy, okay? Now, if you do want to be lazy, though, there are ways to be lazy. So make sure that you are covering your flute with a flute cozy if you're going to leave it on a stand. Before you leave it on the stand for a while, make sure you swab it out, okay? So you can get one of these guys. This is a takedown flute flag. I believe the one that's readily available now is by Valentino. This one's from the original Roger Holman. So am I going to do a gaming stream later? I don't know. I'm going to see how I feel, because John and I really want to run around Natlan together, like as a date. So I don't really want to stream our date, basically, because that makes it very disingenuous. And we want to experience some of the, like, the newness of Natlan together as a couple. I know it's like gaming couple things. But so I was thinking that what I'll do instead is wait until John and I have unlocked all of the visible waypoints and Statue of the Seven in Natlan. And then I do want to stream the story. So yeah, isn't it awesome? I really love doing this stuff with John. It's so cool to like virtually explore a whole new world with your favorite person. But yeah, I do want to stream there. I do want to stream the whatchamacallit, the story. So the Archon quest, I do want to stream that one. So likely I'm just going to the next time you see me in Genshin, I will have revealed the entire map at that point. It's kind of like how I did it for Fontaine. So for Fontaine, I did one stream where I was just going in and exploring and opening up waypoints and stuff like that. But obviously you can't do it all in one live stream. Otherwise, or you could, that would be a very long live stream. But for me, didn't really make that much sense. And then I came back later to do the story. So yeah. But yeah, hubby and I, hubby has expressed that he really wants to explore with me. So I'm like, oh, that's so cute. So of course I'm going to do it with him. And we're going to have some fun. Yeah. So basically date night tonight. Gaming couples date night. But anyway, I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. Take care of yourselves because there is no music without the musician. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? I have no idea when I want to stream tomorrow. It'll be sometime tomorrow. Okay, laters. Bye.